CARICOOS is the Caribbean Coastal Ocean Observance System. It is one of 11 recognized systems for the United States, covering the United States exclusive economic zone. OCOVI is a subcontractor of CARICOOS to better address CARICOOS needs in the Virgin Islands. In this phase of glider deployments that OCOVI and CARICOOS are involved with, we're working with two partners. The first is NOAA, the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration. Their Atlantic, Oceanic, and Meteorological Lab is deploying a series of gliders in our waters and in Puerto Rican waters. And that glider, that model is called the Sea Glider. The second glider, we are working on that with our partners at Rutgers University. The Rutgers University lab uses a glider called a Slocum glider.
There are not many ocean observations that are being carried out of the Virgin Islands. This project actually contributes to obtaining measurements of temperature, salinity, that will be used to insert in forecast models. With a better representation of the ocean, we will be able to better forecast the intensification of hurricanes.
The gliders, as they dive, they give us a profile of temperature, and that temperature gives us the heat content, the engine for intensification. And then as they also dive, they give us the salinity profiles. This gives us the freshwater barrier layer that inhibits the mixing. That warm water is the heat engine for the hurricanes. It intensifies the hurricanes rapidly, more rapidly than anywhere else along the entire North Atlantic hurricane track. That's why we have to do it here. That's why they need the gliders.
So the reason they call it a glider is because it doesn't have a motor really. There's no propeller, there's no motor that drives it through the water. It uses changes in its density to actually sink into the water column, then uses that momentum to turn it into forward momentum. And then once it gets to the bottom of say a 1,000-meter dive, it'll make itself more buoyant so it starts going towards the surface, and then uses that upward momentum into forward momentum as well.
So gliders have a number of different sensors in them. The key one is called the CTD, a conductivity, temperature, and depth probe. And it's measuring conductivity for salinity and temperature. And they're collecting that data at a really high resolution. So like every quarter meter, they're collecting a data point. Every 2 seconds, they're collecting a data point. And all that data can get sent back to shore and we can use it in real time.
The gliders were invented to have a long duration at sea, so they're very efficient in the way they utilize power.
They can stay out in all kinds of weather, like hurricanes. When the boats are going away, the gliders are going into the hurricane, and they're getting unique data like we've never seen before.
One of the unique aspects about this particular operation is that we are expanding into international waters. So one of these gliders will be studying the Anegada Passage northeast of the Virgin Islands, and that is in British Virgin Islands and Anguilla waters.
It's going to be flying in an area where we care a lot about the transport of warm water into the Caribbean. It's going to be monitoring that transport. That's critical for forecasting in the entire region.
The data gathered by these glider deployments will go into computer models and studies of various sorts done by scientists all over the world to better understand hurricane, tropical storm formation and intensification.
Being able to accurately forecast hurricane tracks and intensity is important in developing the trust within a community that you're able to do that, so that when you do issue a forecast, they take it seriously.
Projects like this with gliders and remote sensing and observational technology out there in the ocean is really critical to education. We can bring that data back into the lab and have students work with it in real time. So we're not just putting students out into the ocean to understand it, we're bringing that data in the ocean back to them.
These gliders are very important, especially here in the Caribbean or anywhere, for that instance, where hurricanes are prone to hit land. Being prepared is the most important thing. We don't want such a catastrophe as before to happen again.
So unlike how America, if there's a hurricane approaching, you can get in your car and drive to another state, it's different for us because we have to fly out of here. It's not that simple to just get in the car and drive out. So with these gliders, we can get data and decide whether the category hurricane is going to be a 1 or a 4, how devastating, and if we should evacuate to safety or stay and secure ourselves.
Students with training in the marine sciences, in biology, students who are interested in computers, they want to do coding, students who are interested in writing, and especially in science education writing, educators who want to now upgrade materials to deal with what is real and what's happening today that can capture the attention of the students. There's something here for all of them. And we encourage them to work with us and to take interest in this, because this is something happening in our community, and as many local people as possible should be involved and should benefit directly from it, as well as the long-range benefits they'll get with a better understanding of hurricane forming.